just to get everybody, exactly that. Just I was going to let everybody know that we are looking to record this and circulate this afterwards to not only those that have been on the webinar, but also ones that have been unable to join us today. But without any delay, just to sort of introduce myself and Ben. For those that don't necessarily know us or was in the last webinar, my name's Colin Ely. I'm Partnerships Manager for Table Tennis England. You may have seen my mug on various different webinars for things like Level the Table, webinar funding, the webinar around Parkinson's and table tennis and various different other bits and bobs as well. And I will just allow Ben to just introduce himself and then we'll give some context of what we're doing today.
Hi everybody, my name is Ben Harper and I work as a partnership manager with Easy Fundraising. My job is to work with sports causes and sports teams to help them get the most out of Easy Fundraising. So yeah, tonight's session is quite an interactive one. So yeah, please ask me any questions you've got, anything that you might need advice or help on getting started with. That's my job to help you do that. So.
Great, thanks, Ben. Yeah, so just for context for everybody on the call, Table Tennis England, we've been working with easyfundraising for over a year now, probably 18 months or so. And we've seen various levels of success with clubs being able to drive their own revenue through platform, through club supporters and members of the clubs making purchases online. I won't give too much away. I'll let Ben give the information around that. But what the platform's done is presented a really positive way to generate much needed funding in what is, I think everyone appreciate, quite a difficult climate for fundraising and revenue in general. And over the last 12 months or so, we've seen around about 20 clubs generate circa £1,100 across their sort of revenue efforts, which is quite good, and a great opportunity having sort of been working with Easy Fundraising for a while now and coming up to quite a lucrative purchasing period with sort of Black Friday offers and Christmas on the horizon, dare I say. We thought it'd be useful just to re-engage with clubs and engage some new clubs, present the platform, the benefits associated to it, and open up the opportunity to share or share thoughts or discuss how the platform is being used, has been used, or could be used going forward. So without any further ado, I will shut up and just hand over to Ben, who's going to give you an overview of Easy Fundraising.
Cool. Thanks, Colin. So thank you everybody for a chance to talk through Easy Fundraising this evening. Tonight's session, we are just going to have a real basic look at Easy Fundraising, what it is, how it works, and a bit of advice from me really on if I was in your shoes looking to get fundraising for your table tennis club, how I'd use Easy Fundraising to do that. So here's my email address. As I mentioned before, I've popped it into chat as well. If throughout the evening or afterwards you think, actually, I need to ask a question before we get started, or I need a little bit of clarity on anything else, please feel free to drop me a message and I'll be happy to support you a little bit more. Well, so to get started with, Easy Fundraising is a completely free online fundraising platform. We've been going for over 15 years now, and we work with around 190,000 good causes. And that's all types of organisations, from guides groups to churches to loads and loads of sports clubs to big charities as well. And we help support people who've got a couple of people shopping for them, and we help people who've got hundreds of people shopping for them. So it really is a platform that works for all shapes and all sizes of organisation. As I was mentioning before, we're all looking at the ticker to see exactly when Easy Fundraising goes over to £50 million raised. It should be in the next couple of days, which is really exciting, that we've been able to turn online shopping into £50 million worth of donations for charities and good causes, and £5 million of that has gone direct to sports clubs. So Easy Fundraising is that platform that works on all types of devices. Tonight, I'm mainly going to speak about the web platform and just using a computer to shop with Easy Fundraising. But 99.9% of everything I'll say tonight can also be done on a mobile device or a tablet as well. So if you haven't got any particular questions around apps or tablets or those sort of things, again, feel free to pop them into the chat. I should have apologised at the very, very start. There is quite a bit of mention of Christmas here. I'm a big lover of Christmas. So and obviously it's at that time of year that people are starting to do their online shopping, and I'll show you some stats in terms of how people have increased that. But the benefits of easy fundraising are that it is unrestricted funding. it, it it's a free source of funding that you can use for whatever you require within your organization. So it's not like a really strict grant application where you have to tell us exactly where that funding is going to go. It can be there to be spent on things like running costs, on replacing equipment, on paying for coaching qualifications. It's up to your club exactly where that funding goes for the best, to increase and improve your club. And that's one of the things that people love about easy fundraising, that it is a pot of funding there, like that rainy day fund, that actually if you do need a little bit of extra money to pay for a facility, or you want to put somebody on a coaching qualification, you don't want to pull together a big grant application, then this is a nice pot of funding that sits there, and it can help replace, if you're just looking to buy a few balls, or you're looking to replace a few bats, and easy fundraising, and that funding will sit in your bank account once it's been paid out from us, to do with whatever you like. It's free entirely. The platform is paid for by our retailers. So easy fundraising is funded by the retailers that we work with. It isn't we don't ask for a fee to sign up. We don't take a fee from when you draw out transactions, those sort of things. So easy fundraising is a free service to you and anyone who shops through it. So you will never be asked to pay for easy fundraising. And it's a way of people giving for no cost. Colin touched on it there. Obviously, it's a time of year where people are looking to start get things for Christmas, but it is harder out there at the moment. And obviously, the cost of living crisis we're going through makes it really hard to do fundraising events. And I know from my own fundraising for the groups that I work with, it can feel quite guilty asking people for more and more money when you know that it's a lot tighter out there. So easy fundraising is a way in which we'll turn the purchases that you're already making, so your weekly food shop, your car insurance renewal, your broadband, buying something through Amazon, it turns those purchases into cash back for your club. So it won't make the total of what somebody spends with Amazon anymore. It just means that when they buy something through Amazon, a small percentage of that is sent back to your club via easy fundraising. And it says 7,500. We've just up that now. We're nearly over 8,000 retailers. I know we are over 8,000 retailers now. So it's all of the ones you would expect. So all of the huge retailers that you'd expect online. So your eBays, which again, I know is a particularly good one for sports. John Lewis is a huge supporter of easy fundraising causes. And recently, a lot of the supermarkets, so Sainsbury's, Tesco, Asda, and Morrison's, have now moved to be able to do transactions per week. So it used to be that you'd only ever be able to shop with Tesco's once. Now Tesco's have opened that up so that you can actually get a donation every week from your food shop, which is massive for people now. And some of the other ones that we see people buying through business is Trainline and Booking.com. You can use easy fundraising for purchases that you make for work, and you can choose to put that cash back towards your club if you like. And that's one of the suggestions I've got for later on in the session of how you can do that. So why online and why now? So 22.4 billion was spent online in November and December in 2022. And that's jumped up massively, obviously, since pre-pandemic. People have now found retailers that they really like shopping with online. They found that services can be a lot easier sometimes. And if access is a particular issue or time, then online can be a really nice option for people. So easy fundraising turns that behavior into cash for your club, really. So more and more people are familiar, comfortable with shopping online, and are obviously doing so at the moment in their droves. Christmas shopping has really, really started. So it says here 40% of UK consumers planned on starting their Christmas shopping before October. I know I already have, and 15% are already started shopping in August. And yeah, absolutely, we saw that come through the platform. But easy, and again, apologies, more Christmas. But easy fundraising isn't just for Christmas. It is really a platform that will sit there in the background and fundraise for you all throughout the year. We see people book holidays in January. We see people do a lot of insurances, January, February time. Some of those kind of life admin things that we do, and that's where people can really start to generate some income for your club all the way through the year. It's not just that big boom, but I would suggest now is the time. If you're signed up to Easy Fundraising and you're not using it, jump back on and use it for your purchases from now for anyone's Christmas shopping. So questions that we usually get asked, I thought I'd cover them off now. Do you have to be a charity or a cask? Not at all. So you don't have to even be a constituted group at this point. As part of our validation, we'll ask you what organisation you are and what your fundraising is going towards. And what we'll do is we'll work with you to just understand that if you are a group who's developing at the moment, where that funding's going to, and just tracking that that's going to the right cause. If you are a cask, if you are a charity, that's great as well. You're more than welcome to use. More than welcome to use Easy Fundraising. So will it cost you anything? Only for the things that you buy. I did have that question on a webinar once, like, will we pay for the things that you buy through Easy Fundraising? Unfortunately not, but there's no cost to anything. So it's simply shopping through our platform to generate cash back. How is Easy Fundraising funded? So we're funded by our retailers. So a small percentage of what you buy from a retailer is actually taken towards Easy Fundraising. And also we make funding through selling of advertising on our website. And we also have relationships with retailers where once we hit certain milestones of shopping, they'll pay us that way. So that's how the platform is funded. And it's more and more of our funding now is going towards the good causes because our platform is well established and development has happened along the way. And how we paid our donations. So the majority of our donations now, our clubs will choose to be back transferred, and we pay that out on a quarterly basis. You can receive a check still if you'd like, but most of our clubs choose to get their payments, and we pay out every 3 months, and that will go directly into your club account as long as you've raised over £15. If you don't raise over £15, it simply rolls over. So you don't lose anything. You don't lose out if you don't hit £15. It will just be added into the next payment run as soon as you hit £15. Right, I'm going to stop there for a second and just have a quick look in chat, see if there's any quick questions in. And in the meantime, I'm going to share the Easy Fundraising website and show you exactly how to shop. 1 second. Tab. Got too many tabs open. Second.
I've just dropped in your email address again, just for those that joined after. Maybe you put yours in, so kind of Gary came on.
Perfect.
That, so just drop that.
That's
in.
great. Thanks, Colin. So this is the it's to obviously generate. Oh, have you lost me for a second? Oh,
we've got you back now, Ben. Yeah, just a split second went quiet, but you're all right now.
I think my USB thing is just playing around. Hello.
Yeah,
you got me back. Perfect.
Got
So this is our website, and this is the main way that you can shop through Easy Fundraising. As I said before, you can use our app as well. It's pretty much exactly the same. So first thing I'll do is I'm signed up to Easy Fundraising, and I support my friend's football club. So you can see my donations raised here, and I support Telford Ajax. That's the football club that I support. And if I wanted to buy something and raise a donation for Telford Ajax, all I'd have to do is just start typing the retailer's name in here. So if I was going to buy something from Nike, just find it on here. I can search one of the other ones. If I was going to go to Decathlon, I could just search for Decathlon in here. And it would then take me to the retailer's page on Easy Fundraising. There are different donation amounts on here. Sometimes these can get a little bit confusing. Don't worry whatsoever. Whichever one of these buttons you click, whatever donation applies to your purchase will be added. You don't have to worry about clicking specific ones. So just as a habit, I just click on the Shop Now button. That takes me straight through to Decathlon. Excuse me. Once, I agree with that. once I'm on Decathlon's website, it's exactly the same offers, exactly the same prices. And I would search for whatever I was looking to buy, make that purchase. And once that purchase has gone through, that cashback is now generated and added to my club's account. So there's nothing else required other than just shopping. So a percentage, so for Decathlon, it's 4%. 4% of whatever I spend will be added to my club's account. And it's exactly the same prices, it's exactly the same thing. It's just that Decathlon are paying a thank you to your club as a way of just saying thank you to your club and appreciating you as a customer. So there are loads of other ways you can shop on here as well. So you can search by categories and find all the retailers that we've got. As I said, there are over 8,000 retailers on the website. So feel free to have a look through them and find the ones that you want. But you'll also find things like trending offers as well, where you can just find, so we've got donations tripled from Selfridges, or if you're looking to buy something from John Lewis or Dunelm, you'll see that we have offers all the time from different retailers. If you're lucky enough to go on a cruise, you can do it there, or even things like Groupon. If you're buying a present for family at Christmas, there's a double donation on there. So that's exactly how a donation is raised for Easy Fundraising. It's super, super simple. You start your journey at Easy Fundraising, find the retailer, go and shop, and it's all tracked for you. So that's how to raise a donation. I've popped these slides in here just so you can have them afterwards, so you can just follow that journey through again. This example, I've used Homebase, one that I had a donation from recently. So the next thing really quickly is how to get started with Easy Fundraising. So as a club, you have to be registered as a cause on Easy Fundraising so that people can choose to shop for you. To do that, it's super simple. We've got a Table Tennis England registration page that you can go to. That's in chat, or you can just type that in or follow this when you go through the slides. And this will take you to this page. You'll pop in your club name into here, hit register now, and it will ask you a couple of questions to get your account set up. So the first thing is your name. Obviously, we need to know who you are, your email address and your password, and whether or not you're a registered charity or not. From there on, it's just about building your registration page for Easy Fundraising. So once you hit register my cause, you're set and you're set up to shop for Easy Fundraising. And now it's about building out your page. So we'll ask you a few questions about what you're fundraising for, asking you a little bit more detail about the club, and that will build your very own personalized page that looks like this. So you can see this is Easy Fundraising's Charity of the Year, and we're raising for Home Start Birmingham Northwest. We do all of our shopping in the office to raise funds for Home Start, who help support young children. And when you register, it builds these boxes and it makes that page for you, and that's the page that you're going to send out to all of your supporters, to all of your players, to all of your coaches, your volunteers, or anyone across your network really that you feel will shop for you for Easy Fundraising. One thing I just want to touch on quickly is you will be, as part of registering, you will be encouraged to book a coaching call. Please, please, please take that coaching call. And we've got an amazing team of coaches in the office who work with Easy Fundraising, new Easy Fundraising causes all the time. And they'll spend a bit of time with you, just pointing you in the right direction for resources that we've got on the website, give you a bit of advice and guidance for the things that might work for your club specifically. And they can also help produce you personalized messages and posters. So if you do want that, it takes around 10 minutes to have a call with one of our coaches, and our courses that have a coaching call do way better. They're absolutely amazing, our coaches. So please take that call, and you can book it at any time that's useful for you, day or night, and they'll give you a quick call. So that is everything from me in terms of how to get set up, how to shop donations. I'm going to have a quick look in chat. I just saw there's a question in here. So Rob said, I presume it's only online shopping. Yes, at the moment it is only online shopping. At the moment, it's something, bricks and mortar shopping is something that Easy Fundraising has done in the past. It doesn't at the moment, unfortunately, and we are looking at for next year. But it's something that was yeah, it was a tricky thing to keep track of sometimes, I think, and that's why they've removed it as a service, because there's a lot of missing donations for kind of bricks and mortar shopping for that. But it is something we're always looking at. If it's a kind of reliable source, again, we will add that back in as and when it becomes a thing. And then Gary's asked, does the club get a breakdown of who has donated what amount from spending on the website? Absolutely. So as an admin, so the person who signs up your cause is called the admin. And you can swap that around. So if you sign up the club and actually it's someone else who wants to be admin, you can transfer that over. That's no problem. As the admin, you can see that information. As a supporter of a cause, you can also see a leaderboard of people who've donated, the amounts, and basically whatever information you as a supporter choose to share. So you can be entirely anonymous. So you could just shop and no one would see your name. They'd just see a funding amount. It's entirely up to you as a supporter how much information you want to share. We never see what you buy either. So within that, when I went to Decathlon, we just see the value of what you've bought. We don't see exact details, obviously for personal reasons. Keeping people's shopping data is very private, so we won't see that. And also, if you choose your admin won't see what retailers you've been shopping at. So if there are any particular retailers you don't want to your admin seeing you shopping at, then you may not want to see those. So you choose whether or not you get to choose and share your name. The retailers we won't see either. So we take data security obviously very seriously. We've always been taught, and I've always been taught, to be super careful online with your data and what you share. So you'll be happy to know Easy Fundraising is very strict with that sort of stuff. Says Colin.
Yeah, just a couple more questions have come through. We thought we'd take opportunity, so there's still more information to provide. We thought we'd just take an opportunity to pause and address any questions, but also talk through any kind of immediate thoughts, or if people are on the call right now that have already used Easy Fundraising, what the successes have been, what the benefits, what the challenges might have been, an opportunity to talk. But Ben, I'll let you address those couple of questions before before we move on, or if anybody's got anything else to sort of come in on.
Just one here from Rob. We don't have to be a registered TT club, do we, to use it? From my no, absolutely not. No, you don't have to be a registered club at this point. And in fact, Easy Fundraising is a really good option for when you're looking to move into becoming an affiliated club, because it can actually help fund some of those things at the very start of your kind of journey into being a club, and it can help pay for some of those things that you might need as a startup. We see a lot of people sign up to Easy Fundraising to build that first pot of funding that they might need just for that first bit of kit, or to pay for the sports hall for the first session. So it's not coming out of people's pockets. So Easy Fundraising can do that. So you don't have to be a registered TT club to sign up to Easy Fundraising. And what amount would you expect a TT club to raise in 12-month period? So it's a very, very good question. And it really depends on a couple of things. But to give you a ballpark figure, we say our average user raises £30 a year, average. You can get £30 from just switching your mobile phone. In fact, you'll get more than that. If you do your life insurance, you'll get £125. If you do your broadband, you'll get kind of £45, £50. So that 30 is what we'd say is a really low end of just a couple of purchases here and there with Easy Fundraising a year. Our top users are raising thousands and thousands of pounds a year. We paid out £17,000 to a football club last year, and they were only raising 200 or 300 the year before that. And I'll discuss that later on in the session of how they did that. But if you think £30 per person across your entire network, actually, if you can get 10 people just casually shopping through Easy Fundraising, then you've got your £300 a year to use with whatever you like within your club. So within the fundraising mix, it's probably not going to build you a sports hall. It might do if you do particularly well with it, but it will pay for some of those running costs, and it will pay for replacement of balls and bats and those sort of things that sometimes can be really tricky to get funding for. So that's kind of where Easy Fundraising sits within that fundraising mix. I hope that's helpful.
Thanks, Ben. And just a couple came in earlier. Can you have a couple of admins? You might have squared that one off, actually. Paul asks.
So you can only have one admin at the moment. You can have what we call promoters as well. So you can actually have kind of multiple promoters within thing, but it's just mindful knowing that as an admin, the only thing you can really see that other people can't is some data and some reports, and also the bank details. So everybody else, if I choose to share Telford, like if I wanted to access all the resources to share easy fundraising across the network, I can do that as a supporter and as an admin. So if you get one of your parents signed up to the session to Easy Fundraising, they want to support the session, they want to send it out to their Facebook community, all they have to do is go to the Promote My Cause section, and it will be all the information for your club. So it'll have your registration page, it will have bespoke things for you. So the admin really is only that payment, but unfortunately, because of the payment details thing, we like to have a single line of sight back to who's in charge of where that funding is going to.
Yeah. And then Gary asks, last question before we move on, I think, yeah, what happens if a supporter has a query using Easy Fundraising? Who do they contact?
So we've got an amazing support team. They can contact them 24 hours a day through email, and we respond really, really quickly with that. We've also got chat on our website that people can log in and just talk to somebody through our web chat. And again, that's on the majority of the time you'll see on our service. And also you've got me as a resource as well. So for instance, if you wanted a bit of additional support for your club, you can always drop me an email and I'll help as much as I can as well. So you've got a few different ways, but I'll be honest, our support team are amazing. If you drop them an email and just say, oh, we're having a little issue with this, or a missing donation here, or any of those sort of things, then they'll pick those up really quickly. Also, throughout the process of easy fundraising, what we try and do is if, for instance, you went to Decathlon, did your shopping, and that donation is missed for some reason, it's just not shown in your account, you can go to your donations and it will show you the retailers that you visited and times, like because you've clicked out of easy fundraising to that, and you can just raise a query, like a single button to raise a query, and we'll chase it for you. The idea is that you should never, as an admin and as a club, you've got more than enough to be doing. So you think of us, please think of us at Easy Fundraising as your kind of your support crew. You should never have to be answering questions about easy fundraising. We're here to do that for you and with you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ben. We'll move on, and I know Gary's you put another question in. We'll come back to that one if that's all right, and we'll move on with the second part of the webinar.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this is something I wanted to just share with you in terms of I wanted to put myself in your shoes. I've fundraised for clubs for many, many years than I care to imagine, and when I didn't have as much grey hair. And I put myself in your shoes in terms of if I was starting off with easy fundraising, what's the ways in which you can just maximize it straight away? There's a couple of different strategies to doing it. I just wanted to share this as well, which is from KB Marketing Agency. Ignoring online marketing is like opening a business but not telling anyone. That's the thing we see with easy fundraising. When someone says, oh, we tried that and it didn't really work, it's usually because they haven't gone to their network and asked people, are you shopping on? It might be that they don't do a lot of online shopping themselves, but actually one of their parents or the coach or a volunteer or the centre that you work with might do loads of online shopping. So the success of easy fundraising is about how you can shout about that you are fundraising with it to generate people to shop for you. So I quite like that quote. So I'll drop it in there. But these are the three things I'd say. If you pick any one of these actions, easy fundraising will work for you. So the first thing is the first approach you can take is a lot of people raising that average £30 a year for you. So loads of people. So that could be your parents. It could be, like I say, coaches, volunteers, players. It could be anyone who is associated with your group shopping for you. So it'd be about signing up to. It'd be about signing up to Easy Fundraising. It'd be about using the Promote My Cause section of the website, which I'll show you in a moment. And taking that and using it and sharing it across your network. So that might be your Facebook group, it might be a Twitter community that you have, it could be an email list that you've got, a newsletter that you send out to people. It could be popping a poster up on the door before everyone comes into the session. It could be using our app and showing people that you've just got it on your phone at the moment and just showing them, say, look, get the app. All they need to do is download the app, and that'll be asked which course to sign up for. They'll be able to find your table tennis club in the search list and just get started that way. So that's the first way in which you can go for easy fundraising, get a lot of people shopping for you, and the average of that will generate some really good income. We've got a few clubs that do it that way, and it works really, really well for them, because once you're on easy fundraising, people tend not to come off because they see it's free money at the end of the day that retailer is happy to bring towards your club. So yeah, people tend not to leave easy fundraising because it's free source of income for that club. So that's the first thing I would say. Go to that promote my course section, even if you just get the Facebook message on there and just shout it out to your Facebook group and say, look, we signed up to this. It's about online shopping. There's some videos on there as well that you can share and just say, this is easy fundraising, this is exactly what it is, and this is what I need you to do. And all of that is pre-written, ready for you in that promote my course section, which I'll show you in a moment. The second one, and this is where if you were looking to raise thousands of pounds a year, this is the way you do it. And that is through a business buyer. So as I mentioned, easy fundraising can be for your day-to-day purchases, and it is for the majority of people. People just use it on every online purchase that they have. Where we see people go from a couple of £100 a year to thousands of pounds a year is when they can recruit a business buyer. And that is somebody, it could be a single person who does purchases for a business. So it might be booking trains through the train line. It might be booking hotels for people's stayovers. We've got a club, a sports club that has two supporters, but they raise thousands and thousands of pounds a year because one of the mums from the football team actually books hotel rooms for electricians to do stayovers. And they exclusively use booking.com because it's dead easy to use. So that's the way in which they fundraise, and they raise thousands. So I think that's like I think that they started off as the under 8s. I think they're the under 12s now, but they fundraise for pretty much the rest of the groups because they've just turned that online source of income into and something that our business is really happy to put that cash back towards the club, because it would just it doesn't cost them any more to do so. So a business buyer you can obviously use the same sort of messaging, but we've seen clubs, and if it was me, I'd go to my local chamber of commerce, I'd use LinkedIn, and I'd add it to any sponsorship brochures. So if you've gone out to the community, of the business community before, and asked for sponsors and you've had no's, because we've seen a lot of sponsors pull back from clubs this year just because there's not the capital there to give that £200-300 that there was previously in other years. This is something that could be a sustainable way of them giving to your group, to your table tennis session, without it costing them a single penny. So if they buy their stationery through Viking, if they buy anything through Amazon, if they buy anything through booking.com, if they use Trainline, if they use whatever it might be, one of our other 8,000 retailers, if you can get a business on board, it will go and it will skyrocket. I had a group join last Tuesday, actually, and the first purchase they made it through was Screwfix Direct. And again, straight away, they had to buy some that was a leisure centre, a single site leisure centre, community owned one. They had to buy some paint for painting one of the changing rooms. So they just did it. They were going to buy it through Screwfix anyway. So they just went on the app, found Screwfix, it took them to the Screwfix app, and they just bought it straight away through there. So that's the second way. And it's worth thinking about which one. You can do both. Obviously, you can always do both. But I was thinking if there was one single action, which one would you go for your network? And then the third thing is our coaching calls, and they will help you probably choose one of the top two, and they'll help produce those assets and help produce those messages if you want some additional support. And also they'll come up with some weird and wonderful ways as well of helping support you get to that as well. Also with our coaching calls, if you've got a large network as well, they will help you. They will help you produce some actual physical assets as well. So it's worth taking that call to do that. So that was, I'm just going to pause there just for a second, just to see if anyone wants to. I don't know what people's approaches would be on that. Is it, as I've been talking through that, as one of those jumped out? And feel free to unmute yourself and just shout up if you want. Nobody? Or you feel free to pop it in chat. Is there one of those that you just think actually that would be a much easier way for us to do it? Ooh, I've just had to spot a really good question in there as well.
I think,
Gary,
Ben,
do you,
that notion of being able to promote throughout the whole network, when we talk about network, we're on the sort of page of friends of club members, family members, friends of family members of club members, a real sort of wide net as far as cast it as far as it possibly can. It's about someone having an affinity with the cause and being
yeah.
able to donate. So there's no real limit on that. So that whole promotion piece, if particularly locally in the community, your club or your venue is a bit of a linchpin for activity
Mm,
or community engagement, then it could be, the network of supporters extends much more than what we might normally think in terms of
totally.
membership,
Yeah,
families, etc.
definitely. And what we have seen as well with other clubs is that this is a bit of a hidden way for some people to be able to support who maybe aren't as vocal in other ways, or maybe haven't got a fiver to throw at a donation or buy raffle tickets or do those sort of things. So you actually end up with, especially if people choose to remain anonymous, you can actually get quite a nice network of people kind of donating and doing their bit for a good cause in the background. It's kind of their altruistic thing to do. And also we've seen within particular community centres and community groups where things like table tennis sessions are set up, is that actually people in the local community are happy for that to go on and want to support it even though they're not involved. They like to know that something is happening. They maybe like table tennis, and they'll be able to help support and fundraise that way as well. So yeah, you're spot on in terms of it's kind of a bit of that hidden network that you might not think is out there sometimes. But yeah, that's why Facebook's quite a decent way of doing it. Any social platform really to do that. On this slide, I've just showed the promote my course section. So on the actual website, if I just take you back here, every person on Easy Fundraising has this promote my course section on the tab, and that is your resource of assets that you can send out. Apologies, I'm admin of two. So you can see now you are promoting Telford Ajax. So if I choose the course page link, that's the page I can send out to everybody. I can do a QR code as well if I want to generate one, or I can just choose pre-written templates and send those out. And you can see that there's some things from this time of year as well. So October 22, top to share the messages that you should share with your network right now. And we're always updating those. So you've got new things and fresh things to say to people every month. So I'll just jump back onto the page. The one thing I wanted to show you back on the slides was, actually, it's actually on this page. On here, you'll see there is on the tab here, refer a friend. At the moment, that is a £5 refer a friend bonus. So for every person you refer through to support your table tennis club, for the first £5 they raise, Easy Fundraising will double it. I shouldn't tell you this, in November, that's going to move up to £10. I'm very reliably informed that will move up to £10. So please do, if you're looking to get set up, I'd get set up now and then maybe wait for that refer a friend to jump up to £10, then send that out to every person you know, and get them signed up on a £10. So as soon as they raise £10, we'll double it to 20 for your table tennis group. £5 brilliant, but £10 is even better, and that's because of Black Friday. Obviously next month is the Super Bowl of online shopping. It's massive. It's huge. Obviously retailers going mad with discounts and increased donations. So please do have a look at that refer a friend, and it's all here for you. So you've got that promote my course section here and refer a friend here, and some other things in here as well if you want to look at kind of how it works and a bit more information. Cool. I think, let me just go back to slides. I've just got a couple of last things, Con, if that's okay. I've touched on most of these things, but the three ways to raise big donations, just I'll go through them very quickly. One is business buying. I think I've done that on to death. But one of the other retailers I wanted to mention was RS Components. So if you know of any electricians or you know anyone who works and does building services, anything like that, RS Components provide electrical components. They're a massive supporter of easy fundraising causes. Please do. It's worth just asking your network if anyone shops with RS or Staples even to get donations that way. It's a really good one. Second one is holidays. So not just from the actual holiday, but things like car hire. Can't even say that. Airport parking, holiday clothes, travel insurance, money, all of those sort of things. You can generate loads of income from doing that. I know the biggest donation I make every year is via my summer holiday that we'll book. And we'll book that. It'll be the same price as it would be normally, but I like knowing that actually there's a really big donation going to my friend's football club for us. Takes a bit of the guilt away of booking a holiday. And then the final one is we've got some very, very clever tools to help you fundraise through Easy Fundraising, the best of which is our donation reminder. And that is something that you install onto your web browser. So your Chrome browser or your Safari browser, whichever one you use for Internet Explorer, and you install that onto your browser, that will work in the background to notice any retailers that you're with, any donation amounts that are available on retailers, and it will automatically track them for you. So if I went to Decathlon's website, forgot that I was fundraising through Easy Fundraising, it would pop up with a notification that you can see on the right-hand side here with some Marks and Spencer's. And all you do is hit click to get donation, and that automatically tracks it. It's a super powerful way of fundraising that if you are shopping on your computer, you can do that. We've also just launched that we've launched that quite a while ago on iOS devices. So if you've got an Apple device, you can get that. And you can also, in the next couple of weeks, you'll be able to download that for Android. So please do, once you've got set up and once you've got settled, have a look at the donation reminder, because that is the really simplest way to raise donations on every purchase that you make. And that is it. I'll pass back to Colin on there. And just, I know we've got a few questions in chat.
Brilliant. Yeah. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, and nicely put as well. Around the sort of different nuances of all the funding, etc., and those sort of three tips. But yeah, there's questions have started populating in the chat. So just to finish off tonight, we'll just cover off some of these questions. I'm probably just going to be question master, Ben, and you're going to be the
Yeah,
expert,
that's
if
fine.
that's all right. So Gary asks, what happens if someone uses a credit card that pays cash back? Does that come off what is paid back to the club?
So sometimes those sort of things will remove the cashback element from easy fundraising. Some do. I can't give you a definitive answer on which ones do and which ones don't. I'm sorry off the top of my head, but some will remove the cashback element, some won't from your purchase through easy fundraising. And it's just because obviously they'll be paying twice the cashback. So I'm really sorry, I can't answer which ones will and which ones won't, but I can. Please drop me a message after the session and I'll get you a list of the ones of kind of where that works and where that doesn't. But within the terms and conditions of each of our retailers, you will see exactly what they pay out on. So if you're using air miles or if you're getting club card points or if you're getting kind of other loyalty points within retailers, we usually add that into the terms and conditions for that retailer. So it's just worth having a quick check on the retailer stuff. If there are any weird and wonderful things from a retailer, so if it's only on certain purchases or times of year or voucher codes, those sort of things, then we will put a message between when you click on that retailer going towards it from Easy Fundraising. We normally put a message in there to say, just a heads up, we've seen that people haven't been getting donations because of X. We'll give you a bit more information on that because we want you to get as many donations as you possibly can. And if you're expecting one, we want to make sure that you get it as well. So, and we make sure you know if you will or won't.
Brilliant. A couple more. You might have squared off actually with the content, Ben. So, do you have tools such as web badges, etc., available to stick on the website from Rob? And similar to that, do you have any? Does Easy Funding have legal wording and links for tagging onto emails we might send out? So, those sorts of asset-based questions to support with a promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. So within the promote my course section, there's a lot of information in there. There are web badges in there. And also on the bottom of every single page, you'll also see our privacy policies in there as well. And there's stuff in there that you'll be able to use in terms of privacy and what is tracked through email. So yeah, please have a look on our terms and conditions on the bottom. It's on the bottom of every single page on Easy Fundraising. So there's loads of information there that you can pull out to do that. But if ever there's any worries in terms of certain tracking or got specific questions, just drop me a message or ask our support team. They're really good with those sorts of queries as well.
Brilliant. Jim asks, and I know that you may not know all 8,000, but in terms of the retailers that you work with, do any supply specific TT equipment, suppliers like Bright, T-Sport, etc. But I know you've mentioned before to me that you might have a list of suppliers to actually sort of go through. Do any of those ring out?
They don't, but it's not to mean they're not on Easy Fundraising. It's just sometimes we may not have super niche retailers, to be honest. But what we can do is we help support retailers onto schemes and affiliate schemes like Easy Fundraising. So if there are any particular ones that you only buy equipment through, and actually it's a really good, reliable retailer for you, please let us know. Because again, we'll reach out to our networks and see if we can add them in. And we do help a lot of retailers for specific bits of equipment that you will buy year on year, things like equipment, things like bats and balls and that sort of stuff. I'll say we do have much. The ones that jump to mind for me are much broader, larger sports type retailers, but also for sports clubs. I know eBay is a particular good one because you can obviously buy really specific sports kit through that, and the donations are really good from eBay as well. So yeah, it's worth having a look at that one if there's a bit of kit that you can only get that's quite specific.
Well, I think Ben, you and I, we have the ones mentioned there, Bright, T-Sport, etc. Big suppliers at the minute for some of our mainstream competitions and events, etc. So I think you and I could probably work on
Yeah,
that sort of affiliate scheme. Sort of.
absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to.
Paul, just bring you in if that's all right. You have a verbal question.
Yeah, good evening, guys. You okay?
Hi, Paul.
Yeah,
Hi, Paul.
yeah. The basic one is getting the word out to our members to make sure they continually use this particular sort of process. We have used a similar sort of setup in the past, which hasn't been quite successful for us for raising funds. So it's just a case of capturing that audience back again and making sure that they buy and use this particular app or website.
Yeah.
For it.
I'd suggest the best thing to do is get people straight onto the app. And the other thing that we suggest to people as well is put the Easy Fundraising as as the only shopping app on your homepage. So for me, it's the first app I see whenever I go to buy anything on my phone now. It's literally on the homepage. So for me, sometimes it's easier to just go in Easy Fundraising and then search for Amazon or Just Eat or whatever it might be, Domino's.
Okay.
So that's the thing I would suggest to get people, because our app is head and shoulders above any other fundraising service app that I've used, to be honest.
Okay.
And if you've got an iOS device, the donation reminder app as well. So if you get our normal app, you'd also be encouraged to get our donation reminder app. That's a game changer, because as soon as that's on your phone, if I just go to Just Eat and try and buy and order a takeaway, I get a notification that pops up and says, would you like a percentage donation back to your table tennis club? And that's an absolute game changer, because no one will know the 8,000 retailers that we have, or someone in our team will, guaranteed. But to have those apps and those services, it just makes it so easy, because you're not doing anything different then. You're literally just shopping. Yeah, so I'd suggest get the apps and yeah, push it that way. Plus, also, it's worth noting that Easy Fundraising donation amounts are much higher than anywhere else for a good cause cashback site.
Right. Okay. Not over. And if down the sort of corporate route, my partner works for a large hotel chain, which is obviously quite a thousand, well over 1,000 employees, which there's potential to tap in there. Is there any sort of template format of we can use to distribute within the sort of corporation?
Yeah, so we have launched with big corporates, so they can now use Easy Fundraising to say, right, we want to raise for this particular charity this year, and what we've done with them is get the donation reminder put on all of their computers. So we've done that as a process. It's worked really well. But if you are if you are at a point of approaching a business, drop me a message. And we'll work with you on that one so that we can explain it and work with the business. So you can point us in the direction of the business, and we'll work with them to make sure it works for you and your cause. Because yeah, we don't want you have to get into the weeds of kind of exactly practically how it will work. We just want you to kind of reap the benefits from the funding. So we've got people who will do that with you. So yeah, if you want to approach a corporate to do that, please just ping me a message and we'll do it together if you like, and we can pull together something. We'll pull together like a one page of how it works. So
yeah, okay, Ben. I think that's about all the questions I've got.
1,000 people raising would be nice, though. You wouldn't have to worry too much about funding.
No, we need a new sports hall floor. So.
I tell you what, 1,000 people doing it, you might get there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Paul. Just a couple more before we finish. Gary writes, what do we have to do to use easy funding logo on a poster to put on a supermarket boards, etc., to promote the sessions? I assume, well, you can answer this, Ben, but I assume once they're signed up as a cause, use of assets and formatting posters and the sort of permissions, if you like, are granted as it is. And then I guess really the sort of red tape would be whether or not the supermarket will put it up.
Absolutely. So once you're set up as an easy fundraising cause, you'll be asked to put your logo on there. You'll also be asked to obviously put some information. In the promote my cause section, there's pre-populated posters in there. So you literally just be able to hit generate and it will give you your poster with your QR code on and with your with a space to put your QR code on and your links. So you can just literally hit generate and it'll pull that together for you. If you're going to do loads of supermarkets, give us a shout, give us an email, and we'll get one of our team to kind of personalize it even more for you if you like. Yeah, we'll happily do that for you. Just ping us a quick message and we'll get them to do that. But yeah, I always see it up in supermarkets for various. I went into my son's swimming club and it was on the board. And they don't know I work with Easy Fundraising, which is quite funny. So I've been getting messages from his swimming club and his hockey club about Easy Fundraising. So I must be doing something right. But yeah, it's everywhere.
And then last question from Rob. What do retailers get out of it? It's a good question maybe to end on. And what do Easy Fundraising get out of it? I think I might have squared this one off a bit earlier.
So Easy Fundraising, I'll be honest, we're a for-profit company. So yeah, we make funding ourselves through generating cash back and this service. So that's what Easy Fundraising get from it. But more than that, I'll be honest, we were set up, and Ian is still our owner now, our part owner with an investment group. And he set it up because he saw that there was an avenue of a potential untapped way of generating funds for good causes. And he and all of our staff are at Easy Fundraising because we want to put more money in the hands of good causes, really. So that's what we get out of it, to generate knowing that we're doing good in the world. And same for our retailers. So a lot of them will have it there as corporate social responsibility, and just knowing that they're actually pushing something back out into especially grassroots, because obviously we work with partners like Table Tennis England to be able to get to clubs like you that are actually looking, and groups like you that are looking to make some difference where you live. So for a retailer, that's the perfect thing, that they can turn some of their profits and actually give it back out to community. We've just done a big campaign with Tesco's. And Tesco's, as you all know, are a huge supporter of community. So they've just given out £5,000 to 5 of our good causes, yeah, across the network, just for community. So we're always doing those sort of things as well, to try and get a bit more out of our retailers, more than we already do, and get it in the hands of people like yourself. Gary, so what do we do next? Next thing, the first step is to go to easyfundraising.org.uk/table tennis England. I'll pop that link into chat as well. Go to that page and get yourself signed up. And that's the start of your journey really with Easy Fundraising. That gets your club signed up, and then that generates everything that you can then send out to your network. That is the page that you'll send everybody to. Once you've got your club's page is where you send everybody. You'll say all your parents, everybody, to your own specific club page and get them shopping for you. And more importantly than that, just give it a go yourself. So once you're signed up, as I said, get the app. I use the app pretty much exclusively, to be honest. I'm a bit lazy. I just tend to do my shopping in front of the TV at night. So I tend to use the app all the time. So please do try it and shop yourself for the next thing you buy online, and just see how easy it is. Because once you receive that first payment through the door, that tends to be the moment that clubs go, okay, so this is free money into our club account, and that's that kind of penny drop moment. So race to get that first 15 as quickly as possible, and obviously your club will get a bit of cash to play with straight away.
Thanks, Ben. So that's great. Hope everybody sort of found that information useful. I certainly have as well, and I've heard it quite a few times as well, Ben. So thank you again for that. What I'd say is that as a Table Tennis England, as a governing body, we know that volunteers of clubs and those that are supporting sessions, etc., are volunteers and the sort of lifeblood of what makes it happen. So having explored different avenues in terms of fundraising, etc., this presents what we believe, and some of the clubs that we work with, what we believe to be, a really sort of hands-on way of doing something, but without so much in terms of commitment. There's so much that can be achieved through a lot of little action, if that makes sense. So knowing that people are pulled from pillar to post, knowing that table tennis is the main aim of the game, engagement is the main aim of the game, how can we present more opportunities for you to be more financially sustainable and sort of replenished equipment and all those sorts of things, and having looked at various different platforms across the market, easy fundraising for us came out really on top, as sort of Ben sort of alluded to there. So thank you very much, Ben, for your time, your
No problem.
information.
Thanks everybody for coming.
Thanks everyone for giving up an hour of your evening. We'll save this and circulate this across our website, and so you can review it if there's anything that sort of slips your mind. If you need to circulate it across your networks as well, then you can absolutely do that. I'll endeavour to get that online by the end of the week, which is obviously tomorrow, which shouldn't be too much of an issue. And yeah, we shall close there, and thank you very much.
Well, I'll close the video now. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'll just